I'm Carlo Mincatelli of Time2 Resources. This video will help you to understand gross profit margins. If you want to make notes whilst following the video, why not download the handy PDF note taker? The link can be found in the description box below. Profitability measures the financial performance of a business by comparing profits achieved against a second variable, for example revenue. Profits are the surplus of revenue over costs. Profit equals total revenue minus total costs. There are a variety of types of profit, including gross profit and net profit. These can be found in the income statement. Gross profit margin is a measure of a firm's profitability by looking at the relationship between gross profit and sales revenue. To find the gross profit margin, we use the formula gross profit divided by sales revenue times 100. Here we have an extract from an income statement. Sales revenue is £50,000. We deduct the cost of sales such as raw materials to get a gross profit of £35,000. To find the relationship between two figures, we use the gross profit margin. So gross profit of £35,000 divided by sales revenue of £50,000 times 100 to get a percentage gives us 70%. So what does this figure of 70% tell us? It says that for every £1 of sales revenue, the firm makes 70 pence gross profit. If the gross profit margin is low or falling, this may indicate that the firm is not managing its cost of sales effectively. For example, the cost of raw materials are too high. It may also indicate that the sales of the company are too low. Here we have an example extract from an income statement. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can work out the gross profit and then the gross profit margin. How did you get on? We have a gross profit of £35,000 divided by the sales revenue of £75,000 times 100 to give a percentage, which gives us a figure of 46.7%. Here we compare two businesses. Catherine's Cat Salon is a niche market business. It charges high prices to customers who want to pamper their cats. Shampooing and grooming the cats is time consuming and uses very expensive raw materials such as high quality cat friendly shampoo. Bryony's Boxes operates in the mass market, charging low prices to consumers for pre-packed boxes for home storage. Her raw materials are low cost and mass produced. She sells her boxes at a low price, but in high numbers. Catherine's Cat Salon has revenues of £10,000 and a gross profit of £4,000, making a gross profit margin of 40%. In comparison, Bryony's Boxes has a much higher sales revenue and gross profit. However, her gross profit margin is lower at 20%. This means that Catherine makes more gross profit for every £1 of sales revenue. Gross profit margin measures efficiency, how efficient the business is at turning sales revenue into gross profit. Catherine is more efficient as she turns more of her sales revenue into gross profit as a percentage. Theoretically, if she could grow the business, she would make a much higher gross profit than Bryony. However, because she operates in a niche market, she is unlikely to be able to do this. Let's look a little closer at how we came up with the figures on the income statement. As Catherine's Cat Salon is in a niche market, it only has 100 customers per month. However, they pay a relatively high price of £100. This means that total revenue is £10,000 per month. As its products are high quality, they are expensive. The cost of sales for each customer, such as cat shampoo, is £60 per unit. This gives a profit per unit of £40. Gross profit for the business is the profit per unit times the number of customers, giving us £4,000 a month and a gross profit margin of 40%. Bryony's Boxes is in the mass market and has 1 million customers per month. However, these customers pay a much lower price of £2 for each box bought. This means total revenue is £2 million per month. As its products are low quality, they are cheap. The cost of sales for each customer, such as the cardboard box, is £1.60 per unit. This gives a profit per unit of 40 pence. gross profit for the business is the profit per unit times the number of customers, giving us £400,000 and a gross profit margin of 20%. Although less efficient, Bryony has looked to increase the volume of sales by charging low prices. This has led to a higher gross profit but lower gross profit margin. In practice, mass market businesses tend to charge lower prices and have lower costs per unit. They make less gross profit per unit but make higher gross profit. The low prices attract more customers, leading to more sales revenue and higher profits. There is plenty of empirical or real-world evidence to suggest that this is an effective strategy. Supermarket chains such as Aldi and Lidl charge lower prices but sell en masse. For every product sold, they have a low gross profit margin. However, because they sell mass numbers, profits are high. In comparison, businesses such as Waitrose have a higher cost of sales, paying for better quality. For every product sold, they have a high gross profit margin. However, because they sell less, their gross profit is lower. In reality, gross profit margins are useful in comparing like with like. This means we might compare businesses in the same industry that sell similar products. Aldi versus Lidl would be a good example. It is less useful when we compare dissimilar businesses. Comparing the gross profit margins of Aldi and Waitrose is not as helpful, as we have a mass, low-cost business and a relatively niche, higher-cost one. Thank you for watching and listening to this presentation. We look at a number of ratios in other presentations. If you haven't already done so, why not subscribe to the Time2 Resources YouTube channel now?